Hey, oh man. Peace, family. Peace, peace, peace. I'm gonna let the people come on in here real quick. I'm gonna let the people come on in here real quick. Shout out to the family. Shout out to the family. Hold on. Let me get everything situated real quick. Shout out to the family. Here we go. Let me get everything situated real quick. Make sure everybody's getting the alerts. Yes, indeed. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the family. What city you listening from? What state you listening from? Talk to me, family. What city? Put your city and your state in the chat. Put your city and your state in the chat. Thursday night check-in. Thursday night, you can damn near smell Friday. You can damn near smell Friday. What Friday smelling like this week? You dig? What is Friday smelling like this week? Shout out to the family. Shout out to Reading, PA, Pennsylvania. Shout out to Atlanta, where I'm from. Okay, shout out to the whole city of Atlanta. Shout out to Fort Lauderdale. We got St. Louis, Missouri in the house. Shout out to the FBAs in St. Louis. Ain't been to St. Louis in a minute. Okay, ATL in here heavy. Okay, shout out to the mom, Miss Denise. She's in the Midwest. Okay, Slim, DC. Love DC. Get a lot of love out of DC. Shout out to the FBAs in DC. Shout out to Baltimore. Okay, shout out to Chicago. Where else we at? Okay, shout out to New York. Shout out to the good Miss Diamond in the building, checking in from North Carolina. You dig? Shout out to Houston. Okay, by way of Louisiana. I got love for Louisiana too, and Houston. Okay, I keep telling people some of the most beautiful women in the world are in Louisiana. I don't care what nobody say. Some of the most beautiful women in the world are in Louisiana. So I got a lot of love for Louisiana. And the food is A1 in Louisiana. So shout out to the foundational Black Americans who grew and cultivated that culture down there. Chicago in here heavy, New York, Connecticut. Damn, we all over. We all over. We got any West Coast family in here? I see a lot of East Coast, Midwest. Any West Coast family in here? Pennsylvania. Aboriginal woman said, I have 4 of your books. I appreciate you, Queen. I really, really appreciate you, Queen. Absolutely. I need to do a special giveaway to somebody who has all of my books. It's rare that somebody has all of my books, family. I have 21 books that I've written. So it's rare that someone has every single one of my books. You dig? It's very rare. I have 15 adult books and 6 children books. You dig? Okay, somebody in Costa Rica, the FBA's out there in international family. Shout out to Costa Rica by the way of Mound Bayou. Oh my God. Shout out to the Mississippi Delta. Shout out to Mound Bayou. Y'all need to go get that 30 Black Wall Streets to know about that Mound Bayou or what they did out there in Mississippi. Shout out to Mound Bayou. Shout out to Long Beach, California. Okay, we got some West Coast family in here. Columbus, Georgia. Absolutely. We in here heavy. But family, again, I apologize for being a little late. I told y'all 10 o'clock. It's about what, 10:20, X, Y, and Z. But nonetheless, we in here, and you know what we got to talk about. We got to talk about y'all girl, Tasha K. Tasha K jumped off the porch and started talking crazy the other day. Okay, I guess those views are slipping. I guess some of them lawsuit creditors are calling about them checks. And she said, fuck it, I got to say anything at this point. Okay, so she got out here and crashed out the other day. But before we get to that, family, what we're going to start doing every live, we're going to start the lives off with some knowledge. We're going to start the lives off with a little knowledge, a little history, a little empowerment. And today we want to highlight a great ancestor. Not a great ancestor, one of our elders, master teachers, inventors. We're going to talk about a little about James E. West. Real quick, family, because we always want to be rooted in the knowledge, rooted in the information. Before we start getting on some of these FBA detractors and tethers, let's start off with how great of a people we are. And this is one of the gentlemen who made foundational Black Americans world renowned, made us so great. This is James E. West, family. Does anybody know who James E. West is? Does anybody know who James E. West is? If you don't, quick rundown. James E. West is still to this day considered the father of the electric microphone. Yes, indeed. Foundational Black American, okay, from Virginia. From Virginia, foundational Black American, okay? Born in 1931. Okay, he's still alive to this day, down near 95 years old. He is considered still to this day the father of the electric microphone. Okay, and understand 90% of the microphones that are being produced today are electric microphones. Okay, he is the father of that. He still to this day holds over 70 patents for the electric microphone. I said 70. Okay, for the electric microphone. In 1998, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame of National Inventors. This is a phenomenal man. You dig? And the reason why we want to highlight them is because there's always this thing of foundational Black Americans, people getting out here on these podcasts. You FBAs don't have no culture. People always getting on these podcasts and doing interviews. Listen, all you got to do is bring up James E. West. Family, you can't even get on a podcast and tell us we have no culture without our culture. Our culture produced phenomenal people like James E. West, the father of the electric microphone. So whenever you want to get out there and spew your anti-foundational Black American rhetoric, you have to pay homage to foundational Black Americans to do it. Okay? And from my understanding, the good elder is still a teacher at Johns Hopkins University. You dig? Almost 100 years old, still kicking knowledge, still kicking wisdom. We are a phenomenal people. A phenomenal people. You dig? We have a culture not just of music, of blues, of jazz, of hip hop, but inventions. We don't talk enough about what we've invented that has changed the world. The microphone is just so regular now. We just pick up a mic. We don't even think nothing about it. That's part of foundational Black American culture. It's no foundational Black Americans. There's no electric mic. And this is just one of many inventions, family. Foundational Black Americans hold over 50,000 patents, credited for over 50,000 inventions. Y'all know this, family. But I wanted to start us off today being rooted in the knowledge, wisdom, and information. So let's throw a salute in the chat to James E. West, the father of the electric microphone. So we are able to get our messages out here. We're able to change and influence the world, whether it's through music, through other forms of entertainment, through knowledge, through science. Okay. Such a powerful invention that even the haters can't do anything. They can't even hate on us without using our culture. So salute to the great elder James E. West. With that being said, let's get started with what we got to get started on. Let's to your girl. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh yeah, we coming in hot today, family. We coming in hot today. Oh, yes, indeed. So Tasha K, family, and those who don't know Tasha K, how do you even describe Tasha K? Tasha K is pretty much somebody who gossips all damn day. Just, they just real messy, as my mama say. Somebody who's they make their living off being messy, digging into other folks' business, just being messy, gossiping, just on some bullshit. Just on some bullshit at all times. And she's been sued and lost lawsuits. More famously to Cardi B. She lied on Cardi B and said Cardi B had like some type of, if I'm not mistaken, some type of a sexual transmitted disease. And it turned out to be a lie. She got sued and now she owes Cardi B millions. So I think Tasha K is kind of crashing out. She's just saying shit. Okay, so she got on her show the other day. And somehow the topic of FBA came up. Somebody in the comment section, allegedly FBA, called her husband an African booty scratcher. And oh, she lost it. Let's break this down. Here's Tasha K on her rant. Here we go.
They called my husband an African booty scratcher. They said that I cannot speak on the foundational Black American movement because I'm married to a booty scratcher. Here's what I think about the FBA movement and any other movement that has to do with Young Pharaoh, Brother Polite, Dr. Umar Johnson, all of these movements that y'all look up to, all these men, okay?
And let's pause it right here. One common theme you're always going to see with any FBA detractor. First of all, there's really 4 to 5 different types of FBA detractors. People that have a problem with us identifying with our lineage are 4 to 5 things. Number one, they're either non-FBA, they have an immigrant background, or they're immigrants themselves. Okay, that's number one. Number two, they're a Democratic shield who hates us getting on code around our lineage because that means they can't control us. So they crash out for the Democrats. Okay, they're either married or dating someone who's non-FBA. They have a non-FBA significant other. All right. You'll see this a lot. They'll be FBA themselves, but they're out here sleeping with non-FBAs, which is nothing wrong with it. But the problem is when you sleep with somebody, you take on their ideology. So many times what happens is their partners have a problem with us identifying with our lineage because they feel othered. So they try to get their partner who's FBA to crash out for them. Okay, and that's what we're seeing now. So she has an African husband. All right. And also, I've been hearing, y'all let me know, I've been hearing Tasha K has some Caribbean ancestry. Okay, I've been hearing that. I don't know that for sure. You dig? I don't know that for sure, but I'm hearing she has some Caribbean ancestry, but nonetheless, she's sleeping with an African husband. And many times their husbands or their wives who are non-FBA have an issue with it. So they take on that issue. They take it personal. Okay. The fourth type of person has an issue with FBA are the LGBTQ because they believe they're their own thing anyway. They believe they're their own form of ethnicity. So they have an issue with everything. You see what I'm saying? They have an issue with everything. These are the 4 people. Okay. These are the 4 types of people. And then the 5th sometimes is the half FBA person. Okay. The half FBA, their mama might be Jamaican, but they pops is FBA. Okay, so they kind of like in a dilemma. So they like, oh damn, well fucking, I feel like you attacking me too, so I'm going to attack my own damn lineage. Especially if they've had some type of turmoil with their FBA side. So say they were raised by their mother who's Jamaican, but their father's FBA and they didn't really know their father like that. Then they'll start attacking the lineage. They have an issue with it. But the common theme amongst all these 4 to 5 different people is they're liars. They're always lying. She's talking about Young Pharaoh is part of the FBA movement. And even before we get into that, FBA is not a movement. FBA is a lineage. Okay, it's a lineage-based designation. We're talking about a particular lineage of people. You have foundational Black Americans who are Democrat. You have foundational Black Americans who are Republican. You have foundational Black Americans who are independent. You have foundational Black Americans who are nationalists. You have foundational Black Americans who are Pan-Africanists. It's a lineage of people. You got foundational Black Americans that are from Baltimore. You got foundational Black Americans who are from Wyoming. You see what I'm saying, family? It's a lineage. These are non-immigrants. These are Black people who are non-immigrant and come from a non-immigrant lineage. They can trace their ancestry back at least into the American system of slavery. That's all it is. They trace their lineage back to the very foundations of this country. Your ideology and how you think outside of that, that's non-consequential. That don't even matter. FBA is FBA. That's all it is. It's not a movement. Okay, let's be clear. Delineation is the movement. Delineation is a movement. That's us highlighting a specific talking point, a specific lineage. That's us getting real specific with who we are. Some people disagree with that, and I respect if you disagree with that. But you saying the FBA movement is diminishing who we are. Our lineage is not a movement, just like Jamaican in the movement. If a brother comes up to me and I have an issue with what he says and he happens to be Jamaican, I'm not going to say, oh, you a part of that Jamaican movement. Hell are you talking about? Jamaican is not a movement. Jamaican is who he is. Okay? Haitian is who they are. So it's not a movement, family. And what they do is they do so much lying, they throw any and everybody in the mix. So in order to demonize us now, oh, young Pharaoh is FBA. Dr. Umar, Brother Polite, they just throwing any and everybody in the mix. They don't know their background. They don't know their history. They don't know their lineage. Anything that's negative, they throw it on FBA. All right? Because they're liars. You have to lie about it. There is no real issue that any normal person can have with foundational Black Americans, a particular lineage of people. We ain't done nothing to nobody. We didn't open up the door for damn near everybody in this country. So you have to make up some type of lie. They have to make up some type of lie. But let's continue. Let's continue.
That, I guess, guides you to help elevate your consciousness. Here's what I would say about the FBA movement. It's no different than the KKK.
Boy, these folks out of control. You heard it, family. Let me play it back just in case we didn't hear it right. I just want to make sure she said what she said.
Look up to all these men, okay, that, I guess, guide you to help elevate your consciousness. Here's what I would say about the FBA movement. It's no different than the KKK.
Family, when I tell you foundational Black Americans have no friends, when I tell you delineation is whooping ass out here, these folks are so desperate to demonize us. They're so far-fetched. They're comparing us. They're comparing us identifying with our lineage as the KKK, a domestic terrorist organization who killed thousands of people. Excuse me, YouTube. I apologize, YouTube. Unalived. Thousands of people. Okay? A white supremacist organization to us identifying with the lineage. Us, let's just say, for example, because she said some people called her husband an African booty scratcher. Us calling them, her husband, an African booty scratcher is equivalent to the KKK lynching niggas for hundreds of years. And people wonder why foundational Black Americans, that lineage-based designation continues to grow. People wonder why the delineation movement continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Because anybody with common sense would say, wait, hold on. Family, have y'all seen any lynchings of continental Africans by foundational Black Americans? Let's talk real. Let me humble myself because maybe I just don't know. Have y'all seen any of these Caribbeans unalived by foundational Black Americans? Have you seen foundational Black Americans tell anybody they can't go into certain institutions? They can't go to certain HBCUs because they're not FBA? Have you seen us pull out water hoses and dogs and sick them on Black immigrants in this country? Let me humble myself and let me ask the family, because y'all know more than me, because y'all are more widespread than me. We got folks in here from Baltimore all the way to California, from New York all the way down to Atlanta. Have y'all seen or heard any of this nonsense? Because I'll be the first to denounce it. For these fools to compare us to the KKK shows the hatred, the disdain that they have for us as a lineage. In the self-hate in Tasha K's case, because she's allegedly FBA. The amount of self-hate and disdain and envy they have for us, they're willing to demonize us by any means necessary. by any means necessary, family. Unbelievable. But they would never say that about continental Africans. You got continental Africans right now, family, in South Africa. Right now in South Africa. Okay? Hidden motherfuckers with hyena legs and goddamn kangaroo legs and everything else. Anything they can get their hands on. Slapping Nigerians up, slapping Ghanaians up. You got folks up there in South Sudan. They've been fighting for God knows how long in South Sudan and Congo. Chopping off women's titties and shit. They've been doing all type of diabolical stuff. They would never say any of those ethnic groups, any of those people, any of those tribes are the KKK. They would never even utter it out of their mouths. But African booty scratchers, where they draw the line. Huh? African booty scratchers, where they draw the line, family. They don't draw the line when they chopping off titties and genitals in Africa. Oh, no, they don't draw the line then. Then it's the CIA. They got to put it on the CIA. Oh, no, that's not, Africans don't do that. That's the CIA making up rumors. Like we ain't got the footage. Like we don't have Negroes over here begging, talking about they don't want to go back home because of fear of what they're going to be done to them. No, they ain't never the KKK. I want y'all to notice that, family. African booty scratchers, where they draw the line, though. African booty scratcher is that's nigga. We've gone too far with that. With that elementary school ass joke, because that's the only people who say shit like that. Little kids. We're the KKK now. We ain't got to unalive nobody. We ain't got to take resources out of nobody's hands. All we got to do is utter African booty scratcher. This is where we're at, family, and this is why the delineation movement is growing. People saying, listen, man, we got to separate from this bullshit. These folks, you can't be in the fold. You can't be in the fold with these folks. We can't build with the Tasha K's of the world, with these tethers who think things like this about us. Lord, but let's continue. Let's continue. Let's hear an explanation why we the KKK.
Meant to divide.
Mm-hmm.
Meant to separate you, to isolate you.
Yeah. Are we separating and we dividing from this bullshit all day? Yeah. We separating from people who think like you all day. Yeah, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that.
To have you looking at other races that look like you and hating them for no reason. That is the same foundation and principles that the Ku Klux Klan build themselves on, which is protecting their whiteness, their pureness, not knowing that they are not pure. It's a lie. And I don't get involved in these types of conversations because it's ridiculous. And it's very.
But here you are. Here you are involved in this type of conversation. Tasha K, you are one of the messiest individuals on YouTube. What conversation don't you get involved in? Now, they kill me. These FBA trackers, they kill me playing holier than thou. These folks are always in some bullshit and in some mess. Tasha K don't get involved in mess like this. This is right up. This got Tasha K all over it. That's all you do is be messy. When are you not in some mess? Nobody knows Tasha K for speaking on empowerment. Now, I don't get into mess like this. What the hell are you talking about? That's all you do is get into mess. All you do is sit up on YouTube and lie about folks drinking wine and gossiping on bullshit. 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. On bullshit. But I don't get involved in mess like this. This is right up your alley. If you don't knock it off, if you don't knock it off.
Unintelligent to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
To even speak on, that I would deny my own children, my own grandfather, my own mother.
Lying, making up talking points, family. This is what they do. Make up talking points. Foundational Black Americans don't say anything like this. Foundational Black Americans is a lineage. It don't say nothing about if you have an African significant other, you have to give up your African children. They're just making up shit. They create these negative talking points. They place it on us, and then they try to debunk the talking points they created. Nobody says this shit, family. Nobody tells you to give up your African children. What are you talking about? You're making up that talking point because you love being messy. You've been proven in court to be a liar. You lie on people. So you're doing that again.
Just to protect what? A movement? Y'all don't put food on my plate? Y'all don't pay none of my bills? Y'all sitting in living rooms with bonnets on, causing division because you angry, trying to be accepted no different than a gang on gang crime when you got them little boys in Chicago or any other city taking each other out over what? Just because you look different?
Oh, now they're going with the white supremacist talking point. What about black on black crime? Boy, you just let them keep talking. They'll reveal themselves. People who always claim to be about black power. And then as soon as they get angry at another black person or black people who don't think like them, all of a sudden, what about Chicago? They start sounding just like the white folks. Gang on gang violence. Black on black crime. Damn. Put Tasha K. Tasha K, you might need to hit up Fox News for some money. They might have a little spot for you, Queen. They might have a little spot for you. Yeah, that's KKK talk, ain't it? Ain't that white supremacist talk? Every time we have a critique for somebody, it's, oh, what about Chicago? What about it? Shout out to the FBA family in Chicago. What about Chicago? Tell me any place on the face of the earth where there's no crime. Please tell me. Please tell me. Niggas in Chicago ain't hitting niggas with hyena legs. I know that for a fact. Now, if you in the streets in Chicago, just like any street culture, things happen. Things happen in the streets. But let's be clear. If we go to any country, whether white, Asian, black, there's a criminal element within those countries, cities, states, or nations. Okay? If you North Korea, you better not cross your ass over into South Korea and see what they don't slap the Chinese rice out your ass. They don't play that shit. You better not cross that border from North to South Korea. Ukraine and Russia still beefing now. How many lives have been lost in that? Let's talk about the white on white crime. I guarantee you what's going on in Ukraine ain't worse than Chicago. You take them Ukraine refugees, I bet you put them in Chicago, they'll think it's heaven. Y'all better stop playing with us before we pull the cards. Huh? What's going on in Chicago ain't worse what's going on in the Congo. And been going on in the Congo for 20 years, where you got little kids walking around the Congo with AK-47s in their hand. Y'all better stop speaking on FBA. Everybody want to bring up some damn Chicago. Nigga, Chicago is paradise compared to these folks' homelands. Hell is you talking about? You go to these folks' homeland and these Arab nations and they women can't even goddamn drive. They women get unalived if they trying to drive a car. They women can't even show their damn hair in some of these countries. Women walking around, all you know is their eyes. You got to marry a motherfucker based on how their eyes look because you don't even know how she look. Men will slap the hell out of her in her damn country for showing her hair. Oh, don't show no ankle. Don't let no ankle be shown. Yeah, let's get on it. Let's get on the criminal element of other races, of other cultures, of people from other nationalities. Talking about some damn KKK. Nigga in Chicago ain't got nothing on some of these white criminals. Niggas in Chicago rob a liquor store. These niggas robbed a country. White folks robbed a country, a continent. Huh? These folks got whole Yakuza gangs and everything over there in Asia. Nigga, don't get me started, family. Let's just continue. Y'all get the point. Y'all get the point.
You said something, now we got adults actually doing this.
We have an announcement. George.
And it went to advertisement. Okay, so that was her little rant. That was her little KKK rant, family. That was Tasha K's KKK rant. Okay, about FBA. Yeah, the Italian mafia family. Y'all know this. They kill me, making us the face of degeneracy and criminality. Tethers love doing that too. Stay away from the Akata. They're drug dealing, their baby mamas. And these folks come from countries like Nigeria and Jamaica that got the highest level of paternity fraud in the world. And got the nerve to sit up here and talk about FBA women and FBA men. Got the nerve to sit up here and talk about Chicago when little babies in their country running around with AK-47s. Hell is you talking about? You done lost your damn mind. These folks come from these war-torn countries where they had to flee. They done fled all the way halfway across the world to be over here with us, safe and sound. Nigga, if you don't knock it off, what the hell is wrong with these folks, man? See, like I say, we not finna pull no punches no more. You want to talk about criminality? You want to talk about FBA and black on black crime? Nigga, please, I'll go there with anybody. Let's go there. Let's compare the crime in your homeland to the crime in Chicago. Boy, nonsense. Nonetheless, family, foundational Black Americans, and salute to the family. Y'all got on her bumper. Y'all got on her bumper. And you know Tasha K doesn't do this much. Tasha K came out and apologized. Family, let's listen to the apology. Let's break down the apology because, again, folks were on her bumper. Folks called her out because she attacked a whole lineage of people, because that's what foundational Black American is. It's a whole lineage of people. It's not an organization. It's not a movement. It's not a cult. We don't have no damn leaders. It's just simply a lineage. Okay, so let's listen to what Tasha K said, okay, in her apology.
By me. To anybody that felt offended by me referring to FBA as the KKK, to anybody that I've offended.
Hold on 1 second. Moderators, let's go ahead and patrol the room. We got some trolls in here. Okay, we got some trolls in here. Let's go ahead and get the trolls out. Moderators, if you're still in here, if you're not in here, do I need to mod up some more people? You did, because every time we start cooking, we have trolls come in here and try to get us distracted. So moderators, let's do a clean sweep of the room. Miss Diamond, Miss Denise, okay, and anybody else I modded up. Let's go ahead and do a clean sweep of the room. But here we go. Here's Tasha K's apology. Let's get back on it.
To anybody that felt offended by me referring to FBA as the KKK, to anybody that I've offended, I didn't mean to offend you.
Oh,
I don't do that.
how you didn't mean to offend somebody by calling them KKK? How don't you mean to offend somebody by calling? When has getting called the KKK ever been a compliment? I hate disingenuous apologies. When has been getting called the KKK ever been a compliment? I didn't mean it like that. When I said you the KKK, I meant that, man, y'all look good in white robes. What the fuck? You said what you said, ma'am.
I want any and everybody to be up in here having a good time. Lately, on social media, given the Nolan Wells situation, I mean, just any and everything that has to do with our culture, our people, Blacks as a whole, for some reason, I have been dragged into these conversations. So yesterday's show, had me fired up, because to refer to my family, and I get it, everybody has, they say any and everything about my family, but
right, and you say any and everything about other people's family. Let's stop the bullshit. Okay? All right, if you're going to sit up here, okay, and spit a whole bunch of lightning, spit a bunch of hot fire, you got to be prepared for the thunder that comes with it. You can't sit up here, build your podcast, build your show off being messy, talking about people, exposing people, and then somebody calls your husband an African booty scratcher, then you crash out. No, this is the culture. This is the environment that you wanted to live in. You wanted to build your brand off of being messy. Okay, being very negative, going around and exposing people. Okay, you wanted to get out here and sick dogs on people, metaphorically speaking. You wanted to reveal people. Okay, so now they're coming at you. This is the environment you created. Now you can't take your husband being called an African booty scratcher without you going on a diabolical rant, lying about a whole lineage of people. Stop it.
To see, I guess, them say that I don't somehow care about my people because I married an African man. To refer to me and my platform or my husband as booty scratcher. Now, he laughed about it. It's fine. But for me,
Right.
I don't know, that hit different because I got a son. And to see our own black people, like, that's cool. That's cool. So here's the thing. And everybody's entitled. But here's the thing. I didn't have to react that way because at the end of the day, when I get up here, whether I make $1 or not, and I was unmonetized on this platform for a long time. To anybody that felt offended by me referring to FBA as the KKK, I wholeheartedly apologize. All I saw was divisiveness, and I saw a group of people attacking me, attacking my family. So I attacked back. So I'm grateful to my winos that are on the app that are educating me, that are emailing me, that are apologizing for, I guess, the few bad actors that are out there. But when you do Google it, that's all that comes up. Divisiveness. I don't know who's representing y'all's lineage or our lineage because, I'm from America. I was born here. My mom was born here. One thing that bothers me is when I see black on black, like, racism.
She's all over the place. That's enough, family. That's enough. So she's trying to soft shoe walk it back. She's apologizing. Couple things, family. Hold on 1 second. Let's go 1 second. 1 second. Let's do a little basic research. Okay, let's do a little basic research. Let me share my screen. Because she said when you Google it, divisiveness is what comes up. I told you these folks, anti-FBA detractors are liars. They just lie all damn day. When you Google what is a foundational Black American, this is what it says, family. Hold on. Let me go and let me zoom in. Let me zoom in, family, because that's the basic form of research, okay? It says a foundational Black American is a term used to describe Black Americans who can trace their lineage directly to enslaved people in the United States. That's all it says. That's just Google. You can see at the top, I said, what is a foundational Black American? That's all it is. That's what Google says it is. It goes further to say the designation emphasizes a specific American ancestry tied to chattel slavery, Reconstruction, and Jim Crow, separating this group from more recent Black immigrants. Okay? That's just basic Googling. That's all that is. That's just basic Googling, family. You're a liar. You're a liar. Now, yeah, if you go on TikTok, you're going to have a bunch of non-FBAs trying to change the definition of what a foundational Black American is. But anybody knows that you can't get a definition or what a word means based off somebody's opinion on TikTok, who many times themselves has made a career, has made several videos attacking our lineage. And see, this is what people do, family. People sit up here. Let's go back. They have been so accustomed to attacking foundational Black Americans for decades, slapping us up, just saying diabolical stuff about us. Now that we're fighting back, now that we got our hands up and we're punching back, family, they're whining foul. Oh, this is a hate group. No, nigga, this is a lineage. Okay? This is the same lineage your ass been eating off of, taken from, cosplaying as. That's the same lineage. But what we're doing right now is we're saying, hey, man, what my Memphis homies say, hey, man, it's FBA versus everybody. We got time for everybody today. We got our backs up against the wall, and anybody can get that work. If you call us out, you get that work. You say something about FBA, we pop up like Candyman. We on Candyman time right now as foundational Black Americans. Y'all know Candyman. You say Candyman 3 times, that nigga pop up in the mirror. That's FBA right now. Anybody mentioning us, we don't give a damn if your ass is in Afghanistan or if you in Atlanta. You mention FBA, we popping up like Candyman. Where your family from? Who is this buddy? Oh, you talking about us, nigga? You from Kenya. Y'all got the biggest slum in Africa. We got time. Y'all gonna learn real quick. Okay? We on our old grandparent energy. I mean, my grandma used to tell me, every time you do something, I'm gonna whoop your ass until you learn. That's the time we on right now. And I respect grandma for that. Sometimes you need a whooping. Every time you do something, eventually you're gonna be like, all right, I ain't gonna do that no more. I get a whooping every time I get a whoop. Every time I do that. We put BTA every time y'all do something. Every time you talk slick, every time you say something, we on Candyman energy. We popping up. We don't give a damn if you got a small YouTube channel. We don't give a damn if you got a big YouTube channel. You got a small TikTok following, you got a large TikTok following. Okay? You just on Twitter, on your troll account, we on that too. We patrol in the whole space. The whole space. And a lot of them aren't used to that. See, they're used to us being the pillars and the foundations of Pan-Africanism, family. We're the group that has stayed solid over the centuries while all their other groups crash out. See, they've been infighting in their homeland. They got 3,000 damn tribes on the continent of Africa, 200 and something in Nigeria, 100 and something in South Africa. They can't get a loan to get stable electricity in their homeland. Okay? They 95% of the population in some of these places getting controlled and dominated by the 5%. But it was always FBA they can depend on as the anchor, as somebody they can tie themselves to, somebody they can depend on. When times get hard, let me get up under them FBAs because I'm black too. And now we saying, hey man, no, hold on. It's a lot of riffraff energy going on right now. Where your family from? And we're not saying it in a malicious way. We just asking, where's your family from? Oh, my parents from Jamaica. Okay, that's cool, man. Shout out to Jamaica. But, we speaking on FBA business right now. You can't represent us in this topic. We speaking on FBA business. And they want to cry foul. Oh, man, y'all sound like a hate group. Oh, no, nigga. Now we finna get on your ass. Okay, now we finna get on your ass. So that's the time we're on. And a lot of them are crying foul now. But it is what it is. It's the new order of the day. The days of us just identifying with flat back in this family, that's over with. That's over with. That's over with, family. We on lineage business. Because truth be told, it's always just been our lineage. We ain't never had no friends. Dr. John Henry Clark told us that years ago. We've been slow to waking up to this fact. We've been slow waking up to the fact that people don't really rock with us like that. Okay? Not as a whole, at least. Now, you got some cool Africans. You got some cool Caribbeans. Shout out to them. We call them riders. But you have a significant amount who are tethers. You have a significant amount, okay, who are FBA detractors. You have people in our own lineage who are anti the lineage. Okay? And that's why we weeding these fools out. And now these fools are panicking. Now they're trying to pull this whole reverse psychology. You're the one that's really, you're a part of a hate group. We ain't hating on nothing. We just standing on FBA business. If I don't allow you to tether on to me, if I don't allow you to erase my lineage, okay, if I don't allow you to speak for me, then I hate you. Well, damn it, so be it. So be it, family. But a lot of conversation, because Tasha K, she's spoken about this, and even in the video, there's always this thing when these folks get out here and they say things like FBA is KKK, FBA is an organization, FBA is a group, FBA has a leader named Tariq Nasheed, FBA this, FBA that. When they're demonizing our lineage, they always frame it like it's misinformation, like they're just misinformed or they need to be informed on what it is. Okay? They always do that. And even Tasha K said, I wasn't really aware of X, Y, and Z. Okay, I'm not aware of it like that. When you Google it, I looked on YouTube, I looked on TikTok. Okay, let's be clear. That brings us to the question. Are these folks misinformed or are they being willfully ignorant? What do y'all think in the comment section, family? Or is Tasha K misinformed? Was this an honest mistake? Are these FBA detractors who say things like this? Because she's not the first one to say or compare us to the KKK or other white supremacist groups. Okay? Are these folks misinformed or are they being willfully ignorant? Here's my response. They're being willfully ignorant. Tasha K knew what she's saying was some bullshit. They knew what you're saying is some bullshit. These folks speak to foundational Black Americans all the time who tell them what it is. They know it's a lineage. That's all it is. They know that. But they choose to be willfully ignorant because they have hatred and envy for our lineage. Plain and simple. Anybody who tries to change the definition of what a foundational Black American is a hater of foundational Black Americans. Let's be clear. I don't like the term African American. I don't like the term. But I can't get out here and say African American is an organization just because I don't like it. I can't get out here and say African American is a cult because that's not the definition of the word. I can choose not to like the word. I can choose not to identify with the word. But I can't get out here and change the definition of the word and create a narrative surrounding the word in order to demonize a particular group of people who want to use the word. You see how that works, family? You see how that works? And this is a classic example. Now, on this same show Tasha K was on, let's go to it. On this same show, we cooking. Hold on, let me get a squig of water. Let me get a squig of water. It was hot as hell today. I'm dehydrated and shit. Let me get a squig of water. Now, on the same show, okay. Let's go. Oh, sorry, that's the last video. A woman tries to explain to Tasha, this is a good FBA sister. She tries to explain to Tasha what FBA is. And I've done this many times with many FBA detractors. Listen to Tasha K's response because this is the typical FBA detractor. Here we go.
Hello. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you caught me when I was in traffic, but I'm going to make this very quick. I am very disappointed in you. I've been watching you for years. In fact, and I'm going to go ahead and say this, you're the reason why I actually expanded my brand and have a business. It wouldn't be the type of business.
I'm glad that I could plant a seed like that.
Yes,
so,
but and
so
I always.
What are you disappointed in me about?
Yeah.
And notice this woman is a fan. She's a fan of Tasha K. She says she watches Tasha K all the time. Okay, she's a fan. Okay.
I can't defend you now. I always defend you when it comes to them trans women because they ain't gonna come for you.
What is your
Because
now you're not even asking
FBA movement.
Did I say first of all? First of all, it was the FBA movement that asked me a question.
Well, it couldn't have been if FBA is 50 million people, honey. You there's no way.
Okay. Listen, the FBA is 50 million people, right? Mm-hmm. And Trump still got in office.
Yes.
Listen to the bad faith responses. The FBA is 50 million people, but Trump still got in office. What the hell does that have to do with foundational Black Americans? Okay, family, since Trump got in office, do we not have a lineage anymore? What type of response is that? Oh, FBA is 50 million people, but Trump still got in office. Okay, so does that mean we don't have a lineage? And let's be clear, the majority of foundational Black Americans didn't vote for Trump. Let's be clear about that. Trump's not in office because the majority of FBAs voted for him, which is an irrelevant talking point because it don't matter if we all voted for Trump. We still have a lineage, ma'am. But they're always looking for an gotcha moment. They're always looking to find a way to make us say we don't have a lineage or it's not real because Trump's in all these BS talking points. Lord.
So
But
the laws, listen, we can argue about this all day. And that's why I don't believe in organizations and movements and stuff like that, because I found a lot of people that just, they put their, I don't know, their trust into an organization instead of looking at, you know, what's best for you. You came on here and you said, Tasha, you've helped me do this and helped me do that and helped me do this. But the moment I express to you how I'm viewing an organization, because I feel that a lot of
She keeps saying organization. Listen to it. She keeps saying organization. I just showed you. She said when you Google FBA, okay, it says these things, these negative things. No, it doesn't. I just showed you it doesn't say that. Okay, unless y'all got a different Google algorithm than me. She keeps purposely trying to misrepresent, okay, foundational Black Americans. Keep that.
us are being left behind because we're putting too much into an organization instead of ourselves, that's a problem. I indirectly helped you to get to where you are. But as soon as I express to you about how an organization treated me and how I see it, I have African children. I have an African husband. Now you're disappointed with me, even though you knew that I was married to an African, but yet you want me to talk down on that part.
And notice the sister never said nothing like that. She never told her to talk down. She never told her to say anything like that. FBA people who are anti-FBA are habitual liars. They just lie. The sister didn't come on and say nothing about, I want you to talk down to your African husband and your children. She's just lying.
when did I say that I want you to talk down?
I'm saying you're coming in here saying that you're upset about
well, I should say I'm disappointed. No. I should say I'm disappointed in the opinion. I think you don't understand it. I didn't come on here telling you to talk down to your husband. I would never do that at all anyway, because
who said I didn't understand it?
No, I said, I don't think you understand it, because you're saying, well, you want me to talk down. And that's not true. I don't want you to talk down about that. I actually follow you as well as your husband on social media and have been for years. I do have Africans that are married into my family.
I do have Africans. That's like saying I have white people that are friends. Listen to me.
Oh, Lord. So again, framing us, we're white supremacists. So now her saying she has African people in her family is like when white people, we call them out on racism, them saying they have Black friends. Oh, Lord.
Listen, what I'm saying, and look, you have every right to be upset with me about my opinion.
I'm not upset with you. I think you just don't understand it, and maybe you take offense.
I think I do understand it. I think I read, and I have taken my opinion based off of the information that I see and the divisiveness that I'm seeing that it's causing, because the mere fact I got FBA members calling my family
members, FBA members. Who are these FBA members?
Booty scratchers.
Oh.
They also, and some of them, and I'm gonna just say this loosely, my family's listening too, because we all listen to you.
And by the way, notice Tasha K keeps saying, I do understand it. I do understand it. I believe her. I believe she does understand it. She's just choosing to be willfully ignorant. That goes back to the topic we're talking about. Tasha K be digging up people police records. She be all in files. She be paying people for interviews and under what you call that, secret information, shit that's in hidden files. This woman is very good at doing research. She's very good at doing research, family. She knows what FBA is. She's being willfully ignorant because she doesn't like what it is. And one of the reasons I told you, going back to the 4 people who are anti-FBA, when these folks sit up here and have a significant other who's non-FBA, many times what happens is their significant other feels some type of way about foundational Black Americans. Okay, so they begin to take on that mindset. Well, you have to be anti-FBA too, because FBAs, they be calling me a tether. They'll start telling them a bunch of like, FBA be attacking Black people. So now they overcompensate for their significant other who's non-FBA. Okay? So you're choosing to be willfully ignorant. You're choosing to crash out on a damn lineage. Something you would never do to another lineage. They would never get on here if Jamaicans said something derogatory about her husband, they would never get on here and say Jamaican. Man, this Jamaican shit is some KKK. Jamaicans are equivalent to the KKK. They would never say that. But they'll jump off the fence when it comes to FBA. All right? I want you to understand that. I bet you she's informed. She knows what it is. She's being willfully ignorant.
But
now listen to the sister break it down.
Also, my thing is, it's not a movement, it's a lineage. I will say that, and you don't have to agree with that. I definitely wanted to come on and say that. And as far as your husband or first of all, as far as your children, anything like that, I don't think you understand it. And I say that because I don't see myself ever being disrespectful to you or to your husband, even the people in my family. But it's 50 million people. It's a lineage. It's not a movement. It's not an organization. Umar, and I also want to note this, Umar is not FBA. And the same way, I will say
you're right. He's Pan-African. I forgot. Y'all don't believe in that either.
No. I think she's talking about Umar's lineage. Okay, because some people say Umar's family is Cuban. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Okay, but again, she's purposely trying to misrepresent it. Now she's acting like, well, FBA, you have to think a certain way. No, these are the slick things they do. You have to think a certain way. No, you could be a foundational Black American and have a Pan-African mindset. We deal with them all the time.
Well, first, you don't know what I believe in because everybody.
I'm just saying, if you're FBA,
no, we all don't have. No. You can be FBA, still appreciate Africans. I think the thing is, and I'm just being honest, a lot of people have put up with. No, because you're upset that you think that I'm attacking you or whatever. And no, but I will say this: it's not divisive. You just haven't met all of us. Now, what I won't do, I appreciate everybody, but what you're not going to do, and that's as far as African, they have pejorative terms for us as a group. We have been known as an Akata, a Jank, a Yankee, all these things, and that has been over the years, even in the 60s, 70s, and before that. A person who ran across that border today and anchored themselves here by the 14th Amendment that was meant for the babies of slaves is not the same. That is a melanated immigrant. Everybody originated from Africa. Let's understand that, everybody, including white people. But if it's divisive for some FBA to label their lineage, then it's just as divisive when nobody says anything about, oh, they're Bahamian American or they're Caribbean American. It's not the same thing. There is a difference. We all were enslaved, but there is a difference from us and a boat stop. And that's only offensive because we're telling the truth. For years, a lot of these people, not all, because I don't classify all, even though you're sitting here classifying all FBA as the same. No, ma'am. All of us are not. But what they're not going to do is sit up here and disrespect us. And I hear you saying that some FBA can be disrespectful to Africans. I will admit that. But I haven't heard you once say, because you labeling all of us, that some of them call us a Jareer and a Kata. Cotton picker, all these things. Let's be clear.
Right. And shout out, the sister's cooking, ain't she? She's cooking, family. Oh, she's cooking. And right. And she ain't going to call them out because she got an African husband. She ain't going to call them out. See, they can say whatever they want about us, and we just got to take it. The moment we respond back, all of a sudden, we're the problem. That's where they draw the line. They don't draw the line when the diaspora throwing shots at us day and night. They don't draw the line then. Then they want to come to us in secret. Hey, brother, you have to understand, nigga. The white man colonized them, so you can't say anything back. Oh, we gotta treat them with kitty gloves. Treat the Africans, treat the Caribbeans with kitty gloves when they act out. No. We ain't treating them with kitty gloves no more. We putting belt to ass. We taking off our belt. We ain't tapping hands no more. We taking off the belt. You dig?
Your boat stop, we all have a boat stop. That's damn true. That's very true. But you left your boat stop to come to this boat stop. We had an ethnogenesis. We are different. If it's not wrong for someone to label themselves as Caribbean American and they left their boat stop or their parents came here and anchored them here with that 14th Amendment, it's not divisive. Now, I get it. Those people who you talk to, they offended you and they wanted, I guess you to call him a African booty scratcher. Have I heard that term? Absolutely. I ain't never been one to lie. But what I won't do is sit here and deny the fact that many of these people have sat their behind up here. Not all, because I can't do all, because I know some cool ass Africans. And I've had this tough conversation with family. I've had this tough conversation even with friends, but that's what makes us different. But at the end of the day, I haven't heard you say nothing about how some of them call us an akata. That's a Nigerian word. It has many different meanings, but that some of them, not all, use it as a pejorative term against Black Americans. Now, FBA has nothing to do with a movement. It is a lineage. It is people who pretty much have been here either before the 1865 Freedmen Rolls, or your family can be identified on the Freedmen Rolls. That's all it is. Now, do some people use it in a bad way? Absolutely. 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 But no, it's not divisive. If it's divisive for us, then it's damn sure divisive for Caribbeans to come here and have their flag. It's why do we have to be a monolith if everybody else gets to identify with everything else? And I think that's the part that you're not understanding. They come here, some of them come here with an attitude. Clearly, your husband don't have that type of attitude because he married you, who happened to be a Black American or a Florida Maroon. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to identify.
He married you, but he got you out here crashing out. Okay? Obviously, I think he over here for the free ride. But nonetheless, that's my opinion. Let's continue.
But by historic terms, and I'm a historian, you would be classified as a Maroon, and you should be proud of that. That's not divisive. That just shows that you beat the white people's ass that came down there coming for your people. That's where you originated from. Part of it. I don't know the whole thing. But some of them do not like us. And I think it's wrong for you to sit here and label all of us the same just because some idiots or some jackasses came to you and wanted you to call somebody African booty scratcher. When I sat here and I've been very respectful and I've said some of them, I would never label all of them as the same. They are our distant cousins. It's true. They are. They are very much. But some of them don't like us.
You've made a very, very strong point. And so you and I can agree on something.
Yeah, so
there's a movement going on where
look. Now, after the sister said all that, here she go. There's a movement. See how she went back? See, these folks, that's why I don't waste my time sitting up here talking about we need to inform them. She's still talking about there's a movement. She's still calling it a movement. It don't matter what you tell these folks. It don't matter, family.
It's an organization, and you guys have a lot of teachers. And what
I'll stop it right there, family. That's why I don't waste my time trying to educate people who want to be willfully ignorant. You can sit up here, you can show them scholarship after scholarship. Hey man, if you just Google FBA says that, this is what it is. Foundation of Black Americans is a lineage. Oh, okay, it's a lineage. But my problem is y'all organization say, nigga, I just told you it was a lineage. They're going to believe what they want to believe because they have hatred and envy for your lineage. We're not allowed to identify with that. And you want to know one of the reasons, just especially with the tether class, this is one of the real reasons why they don't like us identifying with our lineage family. Because foundational Black Americans have achieved so much, have done so much. It's almost like we have too much power, too much influence for one group to have. See, we have to be flat Black. We have so much culture. We have to allow everybody to sit at the table and eat off of it. All that culture can't be in control by one group of people. Y'all remember that scene in Malcolm X, the Spike Lee movie, Malcolm X? When Denzel went up to that jailhouse and he was trying to get that brother out and he brought them brothers up there from the nation. Okay. And he had them out there, military ranks in units standing outside. And he said, hey man, we're not going nowhere until our brother gets the treatment he deserves. And after the brother got the treatment, after they got him out of the jail, and the police said, okay, man, disperse him now. And Denzel just pointed his hand and went that way. And everybody left. And the police officer said, hey, man, that's too much power for one man to have. That's how a lot of them look at foundational Black Americans. Wait, you mean to tell me y'all are responsible for 50,000 patents? Everything from the filament of the light bulb, writing some of the first books on electricity, foundational Black Americans, Lewis Latimer. Everything from cuisine, George Speck, the potato chip, everybody eat potato chips around the world. All these music genres, blues, jazz, R&B, funk, soul, hip hop, that has gone around the world, that other people have bitten off of to create their so-called traditional music. To the revolutions, the civil rights movement went around the world. You fought for your rights here. You didn't flee. We fled. This is the number one country from immigrants, aka the number one country for fleers. Everybody comes here to get safe and sound underneath the rights that foundational Black Americans fought for. No. You can't. We can't let you have credit for all that. No. You just gotta be Black. You have to be some long lost generic African who doesn't know where they're from. That way we can all claim you. We all need to claim you so we can say, yeah, we were the reason y'all got civil rights too, because y'all are African and we're African. So yeah, that's us. Yeah, Kool Herc is Jamaican, so yeah, that means hip hop came from Jamaica. We gotta be able to claim. Our culture is so big, nigga, it's public property. That's how they view it. Your shit is public property. Your shit is like going to the park on a nice day. Everybody's rooted in it. Can't nobody claim this. That's too much power for y'all to have. The only thing they give us credit for is the negativity. Okay, when something's negative, now they'll give FBA credit for all that shit. Black on black crime, that's FBA. Okay, degeneracy, baby mamas. If a random woman get out here, a ratchet get out here and start twerking on a car, that's FBA culture. That's Black American culture. Oh, they'll give us credit for everything negative. As soon as we bring up a positive, we bring up Lewis Latimer creating the filament for the light bulb and establishing electricity, making that a global thing. All of a sudden, well, if you go to Kemet and you look on the walls of Kemet, there's something that looks like a light bulb. That's proof that y'all got that from Africa, brother. Nigga, what? Then why y'all still ain't got electricity like that on the continent now? Why some of your homelands got half of the damn country ain't got electricity now if it came from Africa? Oh, man, you believe in that media propaganda. No, I believe the fact that your ass over here with me and not in your Wakanda homeland. That's what I believe. So a lot of them crash out about this type of stuff, family. We got too much power. Too much power. It's the same thing with the arguments they make. They get mad now. They're so mad now about us calling out the fact that a lot of Black Brits are playing our roles in film. And they want to argue that, hey, well, we all Black. Why can't we just share in the roles? Yeah, we can't share in the roles because you ain't got shit to share. See, it's a one-sided thing, family. They eat off of us, and it's nothing to eat off of them from. Yeah, it's nothing to eat off them from. What Black British roles are Black Americans gonna play? You niggas ain't producing shit. You fleeing from Britain. You over there talking about, oh man, they ain't got no industry. They don't want to put me in no movies. Well, stay in there and fight for the roles. It's this one-sided eating. Everybody come over here and eat off of us. And then every time it's time for us to get a plate, they looking around. Oh, shit. Or we got to go to their country with a gang of money to create something. We got to go there with a bag. Yeah, it's one-sided. That's why they want flat Blackness. Because that continues the notion, that continues the tradition of one-sidedness when it comes to so-called Pan-Africanism. Whatever Black Americans do, I have access to, I can get, I can eat off of, I can control it, but my culture is still my culture. Family, can you imagine? Can you imagine if I got my ass over there in Jamaica? I was born and raised in Jamaica. I have two FBA parents that moved and they fled the United States and went to Jamaica. and I grow up and I create a podcast and I'm talking shit about Jamaicans. You Jamaicans ain't shit. Y'all Jamaicans ain't got no culture. Nigga, we come here and we do better. My parents came here with $2 in their pocket and they running circles around you. They'll whoop my ass in Jamaica for saying that shit. They whoop my ass. They would never allow the behavior that they show over here in their homeland. And we know that for a fact. You ain't even got to do nothing in their homeland. If you have any success in their homeland, they'll whoop your ass. Look at what's going on in South Africa. Some Nigerians went down there and got a business. They start tying together hyena legs. I hate you, nigga. They say, get out, nigga. I don't even like the success. The fact that you got some success over here is a problem. Like I said, family, it is what it is. But don't spend time. I showed you that clip and I went on a little rant. I apologize. I went on a little rant. But I showed you that clip to say these folks are not misinformed. They're not misinformed. They don't struggle to understand what foundational Black American is. They're being willfully ignorant. That's all it's about. It's very simple. They're being willfully ignorant for one reason or another. It might be the fact that they're not foundational Black Americans themselves. It might be the fact that they're doing it on behalf of the Democratic Party, and they don't like the fact that foundational Black Americans are having now an independent political mindset. Many of us are. Okay? It might be the fact that they're sleeping with a significant other who is of non-FBA heritage, and they have an issue with FBA. So it's causing friction maybe within their relationship. So they try to overcompensate by attacking us. Whatever the matter might be, they understand what it is. And if you choose to be willfully ignorant, that says a lot about you. That says a lot about you, family. But enough with the Tasha K situation. But let's move forward, because speaking of being willfully ignorant, oh, you know we back here again. Oh, Lord. You know we back at it again with these fools. We back at it again with these fools. The 154 podcast. I call it the 54 ways to disrespect FBA. They bring niggas from different countries to disrespect FBA. That's all they do. It ain't 154. It's the 54 ways to disrespect FBA. They bring niggas from Ethiopia, Tanzania, Jamaica, the Caribbean, Black Brits, all of them. They all congregate together to say, what's your FBA story? What's your FBA story? All right, so we back on with Godfrey, and I'm so glad Godfrey came out and he jumped up off the porch, because I used to like Godfrey. Okay, and Godfrey now he's in full FBA, anti-FBA mode. Okay, he's gone full blown tether, and I respect it. Show us who you are. So recently, family, Godfrey and I think the other dude's name is Akbar. Both of them are Nigerian. They had Wyclef on the show. Great musician. Shout out to Wyclef. Great musician. Okay, with the Fugees. Okay, and our beautiful sister Lauryn Hill, who was the centerpiece of that group, by the way. Our FBA sister Lauryn Hill. They had Wyclef on the show, and like clockwork, it's three certainties in life. When tethers are around, there's three certainties: death, taxes, and them talking about FBA. Them the three certainties in life. Whenever you get a room full of the tether class or just immigrants in general, because I'm gonna hold back on calling Wyclef a tether right now, because he kind of was soft shoeing it a little bit, but we're gonna get on his ass too. We're gonna get on his ass too, but I'm not gonna call him a tether right now. Whenever they get around, it becomes this thing where they got to talk about FBA. So Godfrey and them brought it up. Let's listen to this, family. Let's break this down.
Me and him get bombed with this foundational Black Americans.
Oh boy.
We get bombed.
Like big time.
We were born in America. We're Nigerian American. We were born here.
First
our
gen.
friends, a lot of our friends are Black Americans.
Yeah, we grew up in Black communities. Yeah.
We grew up, and it's this whole thing of, oh, you guys are tethered. This tether.
I don't even know what that means.
It's tether.
I told you, like I said in the video with Tasha K, these anti-FBA detractors, they always have to lie. We're calling you a tether, Godfrey, based off your actions and what you're saying, not based off you just being Nigerian. There are some cool Nigerian brothers and sisters, very cool, who call y'all out. Shout out to them. The word tether is an action-based word, similar to the word coon. Notice no one is confused about what a coon is. No one is confused about what a sellout is. They understand that's an action-based word. They understand just because you're black doesn't mean you're a coon. Just because you're black doesn't mean you're a sellout. They understand your actions made you a coon. You're black and your actions made you a sellout. So when you get up here and you have somebody who is speaking down on us, comparing our accents to slavery and X, Y, and Z, talking about we got a little servitude in our accents, speaking on the David dude from Britain, the actor. And you get up there and you ha-ha and kikiing and you going along with it. When you get up here and you start lying like you're doing now about what tether means and act like we just running around calling people tether, that makes you a tether. Those are tether actions. Okay? Those are tether actions. Just like somebody who goes out here and undermines black people for their own benefit and gain, that makes them a coon. It's not just the simple fact that they're black, it's their actions. But again, this is what tethers do. Tethers lie, tethers create a narrative. And this is what they like doing on the 154 ways to attack FBA. They like creating a narrative of what FBA is for their guests, so their guests can go in on FBA, just in case their guests are not familiar with it, okay?
Tether means something attached. The tether's like you attach to something. So I guess we're acting like we're them, but we're not really them, and we don't really belong with them. It's a lot of divisive.
Yeah.
Like you coming from Haiti, being in Brooklyn, going through what you've gone through, how do you feel about that? I don't know if anyone's ever talked to you about that. Have you heard anything about this foundational black thing? Because they feel like, you know, if you're part immigrant, you're not.
Damn, Godfrey, you gonna let him answer? Shit. This man asked him a question and then he started trying to pile on. He's trying to make sure that he's demonized FBA enough before he throws the alley-oop to Wycliffe. These niggas, he's really trying to talk down on it. Yeah, man, the FBA, they had slapped somebody's Nigerian grandma the other week. How do you feel about that? Wait, before you answer, they had kicked my Nigerian grandfather in the butt with some Timberlands. How do you feel about that? Wait, before you answer that, I think they said they wanted to drop a nuke on the continent of Africa. Wait, how do you feel about that? God damn, they stop lying. Lord.
Foundational. I mean, we recognize we're not foundational black, but they say you shouldn't speak for us. What? I'm speaking just for black folks because we're all going through the same. Grew up in Chicago, police harassment.
Yeah.
You know, same old call the N-word.
We had the same experience.
Same experience
because our roots are, you know, we're first gens.
Yeah.
So because of our roots, then somehow we're excluded from the experience.
Yeah. So how do you? I don't know.
Well, I think that
Finally, goddamn. Okay, here's Wycliffe.
again, I hear everything.
Yeah.
I see everything. I play for everybody. I'm around everybody.
Yeah.
And the conversations that I have is because I feel like the internet is louder than the one-on-one conversation.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt. Yeah.
My one-on-ones are very healthy.
Yeah.
And it's a phrase that says l'union fait la force, which means unity is strength. Right?
And that's a Haitian term. Shout out to the riders in Haiti. Shout out to G-Jacques Dessalines, rider that was in Haiti. Shout out to G-Jacques Dessalines. Okay. Shout out to Aunt Toya, who taught Dessalines how to fight. Okay. Shout out to Louis Vuitton. Shout out to them. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Christophe. Shout out to the riders of Haiti who said, God damn it, we ain't fleeing. We ain't going nowhere. We going to build a free and independent Haiti. We going to fight these white supremacists tooth and nail because this is our country. Shout out to them. That's a Haitian term. That's a Haitian term that many Haitians don't live by today, by the way, okay? So before you try to quote us in your Haitian slogan, make sure Haitians are living that way. Now, I'm going to let you continue, though.
So at the end of the day, it's very clear that the reason why you look at history, right? Because what happens is if you want to debate, then we just got to go with the facts of how history is. And the biggest part of history is this, like, why did they keep me away from you? That's all I want you to know. So if you're in America and I'm in Haiti, why did they keep me away from you, right? Because at some point, some ancestors, there was some kind of a connection. Like why they was like, okay, we're going to bring these people to Jamaica. You know, these, we're going to lead them in Africa. We're going to bring these over here, and then these are going to be shipped to America. Like, why? Right? And this is a big question, right? The question is this, right? So, and the answers that question is l'union fait la force. Unity is strength. Divide is the only way that they could conquer, right? So at the end of the day, when rhetoric gets so loud, right, it's hard for people to look at what the truth is, right? So at the truth, if you...
And they said they always talking about divided. Yeah, Wycliffe, he's, like I say, I ain't gonna call Wycliffe a tether. You know, I think he kind of got put in a bad environment. He got fed this bullshit about FBA, and he's kind of like, he's trying to babble his way up out of it. He's like, yeah, man, you know, unity, we got to be unified. And, you know, and he's kind of trying, he got these dark ass glasses on inside. I hate niggas who wear dark glasses inside. I feel like it's so unnecessary. Nigga, take off your glasses, okay? He got these dark shades inside. I know his mind is all over the place. He's like, how can I wiggle up out of this? Because, by the way, Wycliffe was in 1804 by our brother Tariq Nasheed, okay? Produced by a foundational Black American. They teach that film in schools. That was a global hit on Haiti. Wycliffe was in that film. So I'm sure he understands what foundational Black Americans really is. Yes, indeed. Yes, he was in that film. Okay, I don't think Godfrey and them know that. He was in that film, and Tariq did nothing but put positivity on Haitians. And I put positivity on the riders in Haiti. Now, the tethers, fuck them. Okay? But the riders in Haiti, I respect. I respect the Dessalines of the world. Okay? I respect the Jean Zombies of the world who got busy on these white supremacists. I respect them to the utmost. Okay? And I know they're turning in their grave with some of that BS that's going on in Haiti right now. You dig? But he tried to wiggle up out the situation, but they're always talking about division. And it made me laugh because this is the thing. For years, family, including Wycliffe, and you know, he might have been innocent in doing it. This is y'all boy Wycliffe now. These folks, this is at the 1997 Grammys, okay?
And the best rap album is The Fugees.
Wycliffe, on his first Grammy, Wycliffe hopped his ass up there with that Grammy speech with a Haitian flag wrapped around him. Who remembers this, family? This is at the Grammys. They sit up here and talk about division. Let's unify. I told you, every time these folks win an award, and shout out to Wycliffe, I don't really have a problem with you holding your Haitian flag. But damn, every time we want to identify with our lineage and be rooted in our greatness, it's divisive. Wycliffe topped his ass up there with a Haitian flag wrapped around him. Don't we say that all the time? Tell us where we're lying. Don't the foundational Black Americans on the grassroots say all the time that every time these folks win an award, they start shouting out their homeland? You don't hear nothing about we all Black. Hey, man, us Black need to come together. No, nigga, this Haiti, nigga, we up. Shout out to the Haitians. Boy.
We're going to make this real quick. We like to big up East Coast and West Coast, one love. At this moment, let's not forget the refugees in Zaire going through this bad situation right now.
We started shouting out African immigrants and refugees.
Now, nor the refugees in Haiti. We want to thank Sony, the record company, for making this possible. Mom, pop, brothers and sisters, I'll let y'all do more talking.
Okay, they gonna make sure you know they Haitian. We're the divisive ones. We're dividing the diaspora, though. We doing the same shit. You can't make it up, family. Oh, I'm done. You can't make it up. Huh? Did FBA back in 1997, did we make him wrap that flag around himself? And again, he's not saying nothing horrible. He's kind of he was put in a bad situation. Yeah, Shabuzi got up there talking about he's Nigerian. What's the other actor? Zoe Sonata. Oh, she got out there. What was she? I'm Dominican. These folks make their whole career off being around us, eating off of our culture. Then as soon as they get on stage, many times you don't even know they ass from another country. They found a flag and you're like, damn, what flag is that? Oh, well, you know, he's Bahamian. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, damn, shout out to him. Man, shout out to the Bahamas. The Bahamas is what made me. What? Yeah, niggas stay doing that. Like Carmelo. Remember Carmelo Anthony? He got accepted into the National Basketball Association Hall of Fame. And he got up there, started talking about some shout out to Puerto Rico. I played with Puerto Rico in my heart. Oh, it was Puerto Rico was running through my veins. Nigga, you grew up in Baltimore. You didn't even know your Puerto Rican pops, from my understanding. You didn't grow up with your Puerto Rican pops. You grew up with your FBA mother in the hoods of Baltimore. Everything about you screams FBA. Now you gonna get up here and shout out Puerto Rico? Huh? Lord, they do this all the time, family. But again, and I'm cool with it, but just don't say shit when we do it. Don't say nothing when we do it. That I would have loved for our good brother Michael B. Jordan when he won that Oscar to get up there draped in an FBA flag and watch the Tethers lose it. The Tethers would have lost it. We could never do this. If we accepted a reward, can you imagine? Our good brother Michael B. Jordan got up there and accepted that Oscar, all eyes on him, and he got an FBA flag wrapped around him. Oh, Lord, they would have lost it. But let's get back to Wycliffe. Let's get back to finish what he's saying.
Love Frederick Douglass.
Oh, wait, let's go back.
Out, right? It's hard for people to look at what the truth is, right? Yeah. So at the truth, if you love Frederick Douglass, and Frederick Douglass was Black American, right? If you love Frederick Douglass, you should read what he says about immigrants. Read what he says about Haitians, right?
Hold on. Let's pause it right here. Okay, Wycliffe. Okay. Let's be clear. Frederick Douglass was pro-immigration. He was definitely pro-immigration. He was very fond of Haiti, as were a lot of foundational Black Americans during that time period. They were very fond of Haiti. I want to say Frederick Douglass' family was one of the first ambassadors of Haiti. Okay, global ambassadors of Haiti. He worked as a diplomat or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but he had some ties to the Haitian government of the time. And the reason is for the same reason a lot of foundational Black Americans were like, hey, man, get some brothers and sisters over here, because Haiti was known as a rebellious group of Black people. They were like, hey, man, bring them over here. We'll have numbers, because we're still going under the mindset that everybody identifies with flat Blackness and we all Black. So Frederick Douglass was like, yeah, bring them over here. Bring them over here. I'm cool with that. Yeah, he was pro-Haitians, as was a lot of foundational Black Americans during that time. Okay. And he was pro-immigration because he thought y'all would be an asset. What is the asset Haitians are bringing to us now? Can anybody name that, family? What is the asset that Haitians are bringing to us now? What have Haitians done for us that we haven't already done for ourselves or paved the way for them to do? Let me humble myself. Let me put it in the comment section. Well, I know we got some people who are anti-FBA in here. This is your opportunity. You dig? What are they doing that's an asset for us? See, times change. When Frederick Douglass was talking about the Haitians, he's talking about the Haitians from 120, 130 years ago. These folks still had connections to the Haitian Revolution. Their grandparents, their grandmothers were descendants of the Haitian Revolution. Their parents were descendants of the Haitian Revolution. These folks fresh up off the Haitian Revolution. They got a spirit of culture, a culture of resistance. We're dealing with a different group of Haitians now. We dealing with Haitians who get over here and call us dirty Black Americans. We dealing with Haitians who get over here and say we have no culture, like Casanat. Okay? Yeah, this is a different bunch. This is a different batch in the cookie jar. This ain't the same cookies. You quoting Frederick Douglass, that don't mean nothing. Let's also be clear, since you brought up Frederick Douglass, hold on. Since he brought up Frederick Douglass, let's always be clear about our great ancestor, Frederick Douglass, family. Hold on one second. Let's also be clear about our ancestor, Frederick Douglass. He stood on FBA business now. I don't want anybody to be confused about that. I don't want anybody to be confused about that. Let me share my screen. Hold on one second. Let me share my screen. Because he brought him up. Okay. Can y'all see my screen, family? Uh-oh, I got a little freeze action going on. Uh-oh. Or do we have some non-FBAs working over on YouTube? Can y'all see me, family? Okay, I think we back. Put a thumbs up if you can see me. Okay, put a thumbs up if you can see me. Waiting on the chat to catch up. Okay, we good. Right. Now, this is our ancestor, Frederick Douglass. Okay, this is in a speech he did called The Last Hour. This is January 9th, 1894. This is by Frederick Douglass, because he was very a big proponent of not colonizing foundational Black Americans and sending them to Africa. He wasn't on that, because a lot of them talk all this return stuff. Let me read it, and it's written in Old English because, he wrote it from the times that he was in. Frederick Douglass said, "Now I hold that the American Negro owes no more to the Negroes in Africa than he owes to the Negroes in America. There are millions of needy people over there," speaking of Africa, "but there are also millions of needy people over here as well, and the millions in America need an intelligent man of their own number to help them, as much as an intelligent man are needed in Africa to help her people." Okay, so he's bargaining for foundational Black Americans to stay here. Besides, we have a fight on our hands right here, a fight for redemption of the whole race. And a blow struck successfully for the Negro in America is a blow struck for the Negro in Africa. For until the Negro is respected in America, he need not expect consideration elsewhere. All this native land talk, he's speaking about people saying that Africa is foundational Black America's native land. That's your homeland. That's the motherland. It's the same talk they say on the 154 ways to attack FBA with Godfrey and Akbar. Okay, he said all this native land talk, however, is nonsense. The native land of the American Negro is America. Uh-oh, let me read that again. He brought up Frederick Douglass. I don't think y'all would be too happy with Frederick Douglass if he was still alive. All of this native land talk, however, is nonsense. The native land of the American Negro is America. His bones, his muscles, his sinews are all American. Okay? His ancestors for 270 years have lived and labored and died on American soil. Okay? And millions of his prosperity have inherited Caucasian blood. So he's saying, hey, we intermixed. Okay? We've died. We fought on this land. We labored on this land. Okay? The native land of the American Negro is America. Let's talk that talk. Frederick Douglass wasn't talking all that. Go back to Africa and we need to build Africa. He was saying, no. America needs able Black men here. We have to get our respect in America before you talk about going anywhere else. Shout out to the great ancestor, Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass he used to go off on Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, remember, after the Civil War, after foundational Black Americans by 180,000 Union soldiers fought to win the Civil War, and that was the turning tide of the war. After they fought and won their freedom, Abraham Lincoln wanted to colonize foundational Black Americans, gather us all up, and send us to Haiti in Africa. Frederick Douglass said, hell no. He called Abraham Lincoln a colonization preacher. He said, hell no, we're not going over to no damn Haiti or no Africa. This is our land. This is our native land. Frederick Douglass stood on business. And Frederick Douglass, with that foundational Black American spirit, also looked out for Haitians. He also wanted Haitians to come over. See, that's that FBA spirit. We've always tried to put you on. He said, hey, man, y'all can come over here, man, kick it. We ain't got much, but hey, man, what we got is yours. You see what I'm saying? He said, man, I'm going to do whatever I can. Hey, man, I'll work for the ambassador. I'm going to go to the United States government, X, Y, and Z. You dig? Foundational Black Americans all over did that. You dig? It was another foundational Black American. Y'all look up a brother named C.R. Patterson. I'm giving y'all some receipts. C.R. Patterson, they created one of the first Black automobile companies in America. Okay, the Patterson brothers. So they used to call the Pattersons and Sons. All right. They went from making automobiles to making buses. And when their buses, they stopped making buses and just focused on automobiles, they sent those buses to Haiti. Those became some of the first buses used to establish Haiti's transportation system down there. You dig? Yeah, those were some of Haiti's first buses they used in their transportation system. It was foundational Black American C.R. Patterson who sent those buses down to Haiti. Y'all don't want to start pulling receipts. I told you, we in the mode. Wait until I drop that new FBA book. That shit probably gonna come out next year. I got all the receipts in there, all the sources. People always talking about what they gave us. You got Negroes running around here talking about Haitians are the reason you free. Dude, foundational Black Americans been looking out for Haitians long, but even before the 60s, before the civil rights movement, and y'all came over to benefit off those civil rights bills. You dig? Yeah, it goes on and on. I ain't even got into the blackjacks. Y'all don't know nothing about the blackjacks. These were foundational Black Americans who were selling the seeds. I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret. How do you think Haiti got a lot of those weapons and ammunition and a lot of information during the Haitian Revolution? They were blackballed by all the Western nations. Uh-oh. I'm going to say that for the book. Oh, we're going to be pulling out receipts. You had them blackjacks. They were known as the blackjacks. These were FBA brothers. They were getting the Haitians weapons, X, Y, and Z, intel. Haitians didn't have no global communication like that. Nobody was fucking with Haiti and these white Western nations. Where the hell you think they're getting these weapons from? Yeah, it was foundational Black Americans who own boats. Yeah. Come on now. Yeah, because foundational Black Americans were heavy back then in the whaling industry. So you had brothers like Paul Cuffey who owned ships. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these FBAs were heavy in the whaling industry. So they had their own boats and ships. That's how we got the information about the Haitian Revolution. It was brothers out there on the seas getting those on those whaling vessels. They like, hey, bro, you know it's a revolution going on in Haiti. They were bringing back pamphlets. They weren't just bringing them pamphlets. Gunpowder, X, Y, Z. They were bringing them a lot more. But nonetheless, we're going to say that because I know that's going to be controversial because some of y'all ain't never heard that before. So we're going to wait for the book to come out. We're going to really go into detail about that. You dig? And that's just one. People, y'all don't want to go receipt for receipt. What we've been doing for these folks. Man, we've been doing for all over, ain't just Haiti. Thurgood Marshall. Thurgood Marshall wrote some of the first constitutions for a lot of these free African nations. Look up what I'm saying. When these free African nations, they got free, it was brothers like Thurgood Marshall writing their constitutions or helping them to draft their constitutions. What the hell are these folks talking about, man? You know all the things we've done for their homeland that predate the civil rights movement. We ain't even got into the civil rights movement. We ain't even got into the Randall Robinsons of the world who damn near lost his life trying to bring over Haitian refugees. Randall Robinson went on a hunger strike, went up to Congress and said, hey, man, until you let them Haitians over here, I'm not eating. This would piss me off about them. I'm not eating, foundational Black American brother. I'm not going to eat until you let them Haitians over here. And that's why you had a flood of Haitians come over in the 90s. Congressional Black Caucus and all of them. Then they sit up here and they act like we ain't done nothing for them and they did everything for us. Fuck out of here. But that's okay. We learned our lesson. We learned from Frederick Douglass. We learned from Randall Robinson. We learned from the Blackjacks. We learned that you gotta respect. The respect gotta come first. See, we be leading with gifts. That's something you learn as a young man. I learned that in an early relationship that I was in. You can't lead with gifts. You start giving women gifts too early. Then they get spoiled. X, Y, Z. Shout out to the ladies out there. Then it becomes just a transactional relationship. And that's what we have with the diaspora. We have a very transactional relationship with them. You dig? So I had to learn that, hey, man, you can't be out here just buying, you've been dating a girl 2 weeks and you buying her X, Y, and Z. Nah, you can't do that. You got to make them earn it. See, we in the stage, we earning relationships. What you bringing to the table? Haitians, you want us to get out here and crash out for you? You want us to get out here and fight for you? You want to talk all this unity and you need to let Haitians over here? What are you bringing to the table? I wait. I'm a businessman. We're Renaissance people. You dig? What you bringing to the table? What am I getting out of the Haitian community? Okay, you ain't got nothing. Well, I ain't got nothing for you. I got to focus on my people. Yeah. Come on now. But let's go back to Wycliffe. Because Wycliffe, you know, he brought up Frederick Douglass. So I just had to give that information and receipts on Frederick Douglass. Let's go back to the 154 ways to life.
If you look at, and Frederick Douglass was Black American, right? If you love Frederick Douglass, you should read what he says about immigrants. Read what he says about Haitians, right? If you look at Harlem, New York City, and you are a Garveyite, you should look at Marcus Garvey.
For what? Okay, for what?
Like, he's pretty interesting, right? He would consider himself being from Harlem.
I don't listen. First of all, has Garvey ever said he's from Harlem? I don't want to throw no strays at Garvey if he never said that. I mean, what was the point of that? I told you they love doing this proximity thing. Well, it was Caribbeans in Harlem doing what? If it was Caribbeans in Harlem, they were eating off foundational Black American achievement and heritage and the economic base we laid out. And Garvey was from Jamaica. I got some New York FBA family said, the nigga don't even put that on us. Yeah, Garvey wasn't from Harlem. It don't matter what Garvey think he was from. Garvey was from Jamaica, and Garvey's whole thing was back to Africa. We African. So no, I don't think Garvey would co-sign that. What was the point of that? And like I say, I'm not going to call Wycliffe a tether because Wycliffe was put in a difficult position. You know, you up here with two people who trying to trap you into talking shit. So he's just saying anything to get out. He's like, this nigga saying anything at this point. Look up Frederick Douglass. This nigga jumped from Frederick Douglass to Garvey. I think Garvey would have claimed Harlem. Krispy Kreme Donuts got a 2-for-1 sale. This nigga saying anything. This nigga's trying to get us off topic. He's like, damn it, why did you put me in this situation? Wycliffe like, nigga, I'm trying to stay low key around this motherfucker. Yeah, he's saying anything at this point. Okay, let's finish. Let's finish to see what Wycliffe got else to say.
These are all part of histories that maybe you might be missing. If you look at the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, where does he come from?
Oh, Lord.
If you look at Harry Belafonte, where does he come from? Right? So, and I could keep going on and on and on.
Right, and you can keep going on and on and on. And let's be clear, I want to, because this is a popular talking point amongst tethers. Not saying Wycliffe is a tether, but people in general. What they try to do is they try to point out people from the Caribbean or from Africa who came over here and they rose to some sort of prominence or they were involved in our movement. Let's be clear, family. These folks didn't bring nothing from the Caribbean to us. They came over here from the Caribbean and got on what we were already on. That's a completely different thing. For example, a popular name that you hear, you always hear Stokely Carmichael, aka Kwame Ture. They love to bring him up. He was Caribbean. He popularized Black Power. Well, they'll say he started Black Power, which he didn't. Black Power was started and coined by a brother by the name of Richard Wright, okay, who was from the Mississippi Delta. You dig? He wrote a book called Black Power in 1954, long before Stokely Carmichael got on the scene. All right, Stokely Carmichael, because he was around other foundational Black Americans in the SNCC organization, he was in Mississippi, picked up the term. Okay, that term was already used. He just helped to popularize it because he was the president of SNCC. Because as foundational Black Americans, if you're talking good talk, we don't care where you're from. If you're talking good talk, you on code with us, we rock with you. So he was the president of SNCC. And after he got released from jail in Greenwood, Mississippi, and I know this because my parents grew up around the block from where he got released from jail, okay, he used the term Black Power, and that's what it was helped to be popularized. What they try to do is say, look, he's Caribbean. He gave y'all Black Power. He helped set the movement off. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He grew up over here. He went to historically Black colleges. He was in damn near Harlem every summer. He was getting nurtured by foundational Black American culture, our culture of resistance. And he got on what we were already on. He didn't bring nothing to us that we didn't have. That's a huge difference. Harry Belafonte didn't bring no Caribbean culture with him. Louis Farrakhan didn't bring no Caribbean culture with him. Louis Farrakhan sat at the feet of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, a foundational Black American from Sandersville, Georgia, who gave him that knowledge, wisdom, and information. That's a big difference. Just because they Caribbean don't mean they brought something from the island of from the Caribbean islands, from Jamaica. I think Louis Farrakhan's ancestors are from Jamaica. He didn't bring none of that with him. He got in the NOI. You dig? Same thing with Stokely. He got on what we were already on. He is a product of us. We birthed Stokely. Stokely wouldn't be Stokely if it wasn't for FBAs. We would still be on the same thing if Stokely went over here. The Nation of Islam would have still existed if Farrakhan went already over here. That organization was already in existence. It had already been established. It had already changed millions of lives. Okay? These Caribbean folks didn't make us. We made them. Big difference. So please stop bringing up the handful of Caribbeans and Africans and trying to act like they gave us something we didn't have. No, they got on what we were already on, and they just happened to be Caribbean. You dig? Plain and simple. And they couldn't do that in their homeland. Remember, Stokely Carmichael Kwame Ture was banned from his homeland, Trinidad, until like the late 1980s. Trinidadian government did not rock with Stokely Carmichael because they said they didn't want all that Black Power talk over there. You niggas was over there cooning in the islands. When Garvey got deported from the United States, he left Jamaica in disgust because you voted a white man in over him. That's why he took his ass to Britain. He left heartbroken. Let's be clear. Garvey, that's why Garvey said he came over here to instill the Tuskegee model put into place by Booker T. Washington. Stop acting like you niggas made us and we collabed together to create this revolution in the civil rights movement. We didn't collab on shit. You came over here and got on what we were already on. I really want to be clear about that, family. And I challenge anybody, if you were already on that, Garvey would have blew up in the Caribbean. If you were already on that, Stokely Carmichael would have been welcomed home back to Trinidad. Instead, he was banned. And it's a reason why Stokely died over there in Africa. He didn't die over here in Trinidad. You ain't never really accept him like that, nigga. The only people who accepted him was FBA. Because we accept all revolutionaries. We stand on FBA business, even though we're 13% of the population. So let's be clear, Wycliffe. Let's be clear. But let's continue.
And just to say at the end of the day, you see, when we was doing the Fugees, right? And we always say like the power of the Fugees is this is what happens when a Black American gets with the diaspora and they put their arms together and they learn from each other, right? So when Lauren is sitting there and she's like, yo, this is the Four Tops. You know, this is Marvin Gaye. You know, I'm like, who? She's like, yo, that's Marvin Gaye. He's a soul singer. This is Aretha Franklin. I say, yo, that's dope. And I'd be like, yo, check this out. This fella Kuti.
Oh, Lord.
Yo, check this out. This band called Tabu Combo. Tabu what? Tabu Combo. They out of Haiti. Yo, this Celia Cruz, she from Cuba. When you put the forces together, this becomes the most powerfulest thing on the planet.
Lord. And this is why people be thinking we be going in on them. Y'all do this shit to yourselves, family. You do this shit to yourselves. Family, first and foremost, let's be clear again. Foundational Black Americans are able to blow up our music on our own. We don't need collaboration from the diaspora, the so-called diaspora. I don't even like using that word, but the so-called diaspora. Okay? No disrespect, but we blew up blues on our own. Okay? We blew up jazz on our own. We blew up R&B on our own. We blew up country music on our own. We blew up hip hop on our own. We blew up soul on our own. We have a long track record of ingenuity as foundational Black Americans, blowing up shit on our own. And YouTube, I'm not saying like attacking anybody blowing up. I'm just saying making our music go viral. We didn't need anybody from Haiti to make our music go viral. We didn't need the collaboration of an African drum. We didn't need that. Give us our credit where credit is due. Okay? Let's also be clear. You brought up the first name, Fela Kuti. Fela Kuti, who is known as the father of Afrobeat, he got that sound, or much of that sound, from foundational Black Americans. We have the receipt on this, family. Okay, remember, this is from the New York Times. This is from the 1970s, okay? This is labeled, and everybody go save this article. Let's go into some receipts because we don't have to lie. 1 second, family. Let's go into some receipts because we don't have to lie. Share this tab. Boom. Oh, damn, it didn't even come up. Hold on 1 second, family. 1 second. Let's go through some receipts, okay? Fela Kuti. He brought up Fela Kuti. 1 second. Let me find us a particular section in the article. And Fela Kuti did nothing but praise foundational Black Americans. Okay, he did nothing but praise. Now here we go. Can y'all see that, family? Let me zoom in. This is from the New York Times. Okay, let me go up to show y'all. It's called Nigeria's Dissident Superstar. Okay, this was written in 1977, okay, by John Darnton. Now let's go down because they're talking about the rise of Fela Kuti. And Fela Kuti makes it very plain and simple, or at least in this article they do, that's written on Fela Kuti. It says, a flamboyant musician named Fela mixes radical politics with pidgin English in songs. So explosive, the government has banned his performances. There it again, the government's banning the performances again. When they try to do anything with some type of creativity, their governments were banning them. They couldn't do it, okay? They weren't rocking with them like that. He says, then he went to England to study at the London School of Music, where he was exposed to American jazz and fell under the spell of Charlie Parker, FBA legend, Johnny Coltrane, FBA legend, and Miles Davis. By combining the bouncy high life and American jazz, he invented Afrobeat, a sound heard live. It becomes habit forming. Okay, so Fela Kuti gave it up. Shout out to Fela Kuti. Like I said, these were a different group of Black immigrants back then. These folks were riding. Some of these folks were riding with FBA. These new batch, the tether glass, no. Okay, so they were giving it up. So let's be clear. You talking about Fela Kuti? I mean, he took our shit and re-rocked it. See, they want to take our music, re-rock it, and sell it back to us and act like they gave us something. No, that's our shit. That's a form of our shit. You know, he took that American jazz, he put some African traditional music with it, and then he created this Afrobeat. Okay, but much of that still had our fingerprints on it. All right. Much of that still had our fingerprints on it. And by the way, if you go down later in this article, this is a great article just to save, family. Fela Kuti, he gave a lot of credit to FBAs. Listen to this. On a side note, the turning point of his career seems to have come after he visited the United States in 1969. In San Francisco, he met Sandra Isidore, a young woman on the fringes of the Black Panther movement, who gave him books to read and introduced him to men who were stirring crowds with radical rhetoric. Okay, there were long discussions into the dawn about white oppression, colonialism, and revolution. He became politically aware. So he got his consciousness from FBA. Kool-Aid says, "It was incredible how my head was turned. Everything fell into place." Fela said, "For the first time, I saw the essence of Blackism, Black nationalism. It's crazy in the States. People think the Black Power movement drew inspiration from Africa. All these Americans come over here looking for awareness. They don't realize they're the ones who got it over there. Why we were ashamed to walk around in national dress until we saw Blacks wearing dashikis on 125th Street. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Family." Okay, so when you start talking about Fela Kuti and all these folks were influenced by FBA, you can't re-rock Fela Kuti and then try to sell it back to us like they were coming with some traditional African mindset or sound. No. No. That's our shit. That's our shit. And they gave it up to us. Shout out to Fela Kuti. No disrespect, because that's what real ones do. When you get something from somebody, when you draw inspiration from somebody, you give credit to that person. You pay homage to that person. You don't deny them of their credit. You don't act like you gave them something. You dig? So let's be clear. Let's be clear about that, family. Because the Fijis wasn't nothing Haitian about the Fijis besides Wycliffe. It wasn't no Haitian sounding and X, Y, and Z. The Fijis, that drew from, like Lauryn Hill said, that Marvin Gaye, that R&B, that soul. That's what made the Fijis unique. There wasn't no damn Haitian drums. All right, family? But yeah, that at the end of the day, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it is what it is, okay? We know that Wycliffe wouldn't be Wycliffe if he wasn't over here in the United States of America. He wasn't rooted in foundational Black American culture. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. And remember, Wycliffe, you know, we know what happened when Wycliffe goes back to Haiti. Hold on. Y'all never forget, family. Wycliffe tried to go to Haiti and get involved in their politics in Haiti. You know, he's sitting up here quoting all these Haitian slogans talking about unity. Remember, Wycliffe went down there, and it says musician Wycliffe shot during Haiti election campaign. He tried to go to Haiti and get involved in them politics, and they popped Wycliffe. They showed him that Haitian culture that exists down there in 2011, 2012, that still exists to this day. Okay? See, we're not the divisive ones, okay? We're not divisive. We're just being very specific about our lineage. Now, we're dividing ourselves from the tethers. Yeah, we for sure dividing ourselves from them. But we're being very specific about our lineage. You dig? When Wycliffe went down there and started jumping in them Haitian politics, they popped the member of the Fugees, didn't they? After Wycliffe went over there and he's at these award shows draped in Haitian flags, and he went down there and tried to get involved in their politics, and he ended up singing "Someone Please Call 911." That nigga went down there and he came right back to the United States of America and got right up underneath some foundational Black Americans. Okay, you better thank a FBA. You better thank a FBA. No, dude, I'm not laughing at him being shot because I'm glad he survived that. And again, I respect Wycliffe. But this is a little soft warning. Wycliffe, come on now. That nigga said, someone please call 911. Tell them I just been shot down. Yeah, nigga, bring your ass back over here to America. Y'all know what the deal is over there in your homelands. Don't lecture us on unity. I hate when people lecture us about unity in their homelands. They'll whoop their ass over there in Haiti. That nigga tried to get down there and get involved in their politics, and that's what they should have been asking him about. I might have to go watch the interview. Did they ask him the 154 ways to attack FBA? Did y'all ask him about all the disunity in Haiti and him being shot in Haiti? Yeah, get on the Haitians. Talk about how they're divisive. You ain't gonna do that though. They ain't gonna mention none of that. Yeah, nigga, we ain't forgot. You know, we keep receipts over here. We keep some receipts, family. But man, I've been on here 2 hours. I know y'all tired of hearing me talk, family. I hope it was a good live tonight. I will be going live tomorrow. I'm gonna try to do more lives. I know I be skipping. I be saying I'm gonna go live once a week, and then you look up and I ain't went live in 2-3 weeks. So I'm gonna try to be consistent for the family. I'm gonna go live tomorrow, try to make up some time with you, because there's so much stuff we have to break down. It's so many videos that we have to break down, and I think I'm gonna bring a guest on tomorrow. You dig? Because it's another video floating around, and the talking point that we always hear that we got to go ahead and debunk. You dig? We got to go ahead and debunk it. So I think I'm going to get on live tomorrow. Thank you all for the super chats, family. I appreciate the super chats in the building. Make sure Miss Diamond, shout out to Miss Diamond. Make sure you go to my website right here and you get my books. I have 21 books, all of them best-selling. All of them best-selling, family. I got 6 children's books, from books on John C. Robinson, okay, our great FBA ancestor. I might do him on our next opening fact. How do y'all like the opening facts too, by the way? Do y'all think we should start off every live with a fact about foundational Black Americans and highlighting some of our elders and ancestors and all we've accomplished? You dig? Do y'all like that, family? So we started off with something positive, and giving credit to foundational Black Americans, and then we'll put a little belt to ass after that. You dig? Yeah. So y'all like that. Okay, for sure. We're gonna do that from now on. We're gonna do that from now on. Be rooted in that, rooting in some good teaching, some good knowledge, wisdom, and information. That leaves you in power going into Friday, or the next day in general. But shout out to my good sister, Miss Diamond. Okay, she's got the website up there, family. Go check out the books. I have a few when Black Americans stop singing on me, stop swinging and start singing. Not that. I'm tripping. I got so many damn books, I be mixing them up. I got a few 19 white men who admitted there were indigenous Black people in America. That's going to help you get rooted in that indigenous ancestry. That's a receipt book. So when people get out here and they say y'all are lying about Black people being in America before slavery, you pull out that book. We got a volume 1 and volume 2. Okay, so that's 38 accounts of indigenous Black people in America. We also got volume 3, which is kind of like a spinoff. It's 13 Black scholars. So we got a whole bunch of Black scholars, just in case some of y'all don't believe the white folks, and I don't blame you. You dig? We got some good Negroes saying the same thing, many of which are Pan-Africanists, by the way, but keep that quiet. We don't want the Pan-Africanists to crash out. We don't want them to crash out. Down there, every Black person in that book was a Pan-Africanist saying that Black people were already here. That's something they deny as Pan-Africanists now all of a sudden. But make sure you go check that out for your boy, family. Until next time, it's your brother Chase, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And never forget, foundational Black Americans, despite what these folks say, to Tasha K's, the 154 Ways to Hate FBA podcast with Godfrey and Akbar, you are a phenomenal people. That's why people can't stop mentioning you. That's why people are determined to control you. Okay? People who are not phenomenal, no one cares what they do. No one cares what they say. No one cares how they identify. But a phenomenal people, those are people that everybody seeks to control. Everybody seeks their influence. Everybody seeks some of their power. Everybody wants to siphon off of them. They mentioned the word tether. The reason why we call these folks tether is because tether is something that holds you back. It ties you up. Every time you try to move forward, you got to drag it. You see what I'm saying? And people are tethered is almost like a host. You just can't shake it. That's what people do when you're phenomenal. No matter how much they hate you, they got to mention you. They got to keep bringing you up. Everything reminds them of you. They hating ass podcast. When they look at that microphone, we talked about James E. West. You got to talk to an FBA. You needed an FBA to do that. So you are phenomenal people, FBA. You are phenomenal, phenomenal people, despite what these people say. Until next time, peace and Black power. I'm out, family.